The president picks a woman for the U.S. Supreme Court. A full report on who she is and her chances for confirmation.
In Mogadishu, more U.S. airstrikes against a defiant Somali warlord and more civilian casualties.
And Eye on America. Tonight, the battle over sexual preference and the move to keep gays out.
This lifestyle and the promotion of it is detrimental, I feel, to our children and our families and just America as a whole.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather and Connie Chung.
Good evening. It took 3 months, but President Clinton has finally named a replacement for retiring Justice Byron White on the U.S. Supreme Court. Just when it had been made to appear that President Clinton was getting ready to nominate another white male, he chose a woman. Our coverage of the President's Supreme Court decision begins with Susan Spencer at the White House.
President Clinton surprised almost everyone by tapping only the second woman ever for the country's highest court. Judge Ruth Bader Ginsburg, thought out of the running weeks ago.
She has genuinely distinguished herself as one of our nation's best judges. Progressive in outlook, wise in judgment, balanced and fair in her opinions.
Both president and judge grew emotional as she modestly explained why she thought her nomination significant.
It contributes to the end of the days when women appear in high places only as one-at-a-time performers.
President Clinton said Ginsburg will build consensus on the court, and he praised her work for women's rights.
Say that she is to the women's movement what former Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall was to the movement for the rights of African Americans.
Still, it took Mr. Clinton 88 days of sometimes public agonizing to pick her. In an unusual move today, he praised the also-rans. Interior Secretary Bruce Babbitt, out the White House says because environmentalists pleaded to leave him at Interior, and federal Judge Stephen Breyer. Sources said his interview Friday did not go very well. They deny that news that he hadn't paid his maid's Social Security taxes nixed his chances.
That I don't think disqualified Judge Breyer, and I don't think it should disqualify anybody.
Mr. Clinton reportedly was bowled over when he first met Ginsburg yesterday. Key senators applauded the choice.
I think she should be a distinguished member of that court in just a relatively short period of time. I suspect she's going to make us all pretty proud.
The Clinton administration and the president wants someone that would be least resistant and least problematic.
After a series of nomination nightmares, an easy confirmation is exactly what the president wants. And the White House hopes that the public will soon forget the messy process that produced this nomination. I'm Susan Spencer, reporting live from the White House.
Judge Ginsburg was born in Brooklyn, New York, and is a graduate of Columbia University Law School. She was appointed to the U.S. Court of Appeals in Washington by President Carter. Tonight, CBS News law correspondent Rita Braver looks at how Ginsburg might influence the Supreme Court.
60-year-old Judge Ruth Bader Ginsburg has been an appeals court judge for 13 years. She's considered moderate to liberal, but today she cited this guide to judging from ultra-conservative Chief Justice William Rehnquist.
A judge is bound to decide each case fairly in accord with the relevant facts and the applicable law, even when the decision is not, as he put it, what the home crowd wants.
As a lawyer, Ginsburg won a string of important cases in the Supreme Court, barring discrimination against women. In contrast to Byron White, the justice she would replace, she supports abortion rights, although she's raised some questions about the legal underpinnings of the landmark Roe v. Wade abortion rights case. Nevertheless, women's rights groups back her.
Sometimes her analysis may differ from other people's analysis, but she is clear that the Constitution protects a woman's right to choose.
Ginsburg is a former law professor, a mother and grandmother who proudly brandished a picture of her granddaughter with the First Lady today. Her husband is a law professor and tax attorney, who incidentally has worked for Ross Perot. Lawyers like Harvard professor Lawrence Tribe were praising Ginsburg today.
I think that she will approach issues with a fresh and open mind, and I very much doubt that she will be a magnet pulling the court in some predictable direction.
But another Harvard professor had harsh criticism for Ginsburg.
She's a technocrat. She is a very narrow, rigid person and lawyer and judge. She won't add very much to the Supreme Court, in my view.
And it's unknown how Judge Ginsburg will rule on civil rights, gay rights, criminal law, and other controversies that have split the Supreme Court in recent years. The Senate Judiciary Committee will try to find out with his not yet scheduled confirmation hearings for Judge Ginsburg. Rita Braver, CBS News at the Supreme Court.
If Judge Ginsburg joins the Supreme Court, she'll find plenty of work waiting for her, including a case involving the red-hot battle over abortion. The court agreed today to decide whether protesters who block abortion clinics may be sued under the so-called RICO law, designed to fight organized crime. The court has already ruled in the past year that federal judges cannot stop blockades of abortion clinics under existing civil rights law.
Ruth Ginsburg is, of course, President Clinton's first nomination to the U.S. Supreme Court. There are a lot of legitimate questions about how and why he reached the decision. But as correspondent Bill Plant reports tonight, the president today refused to answer any such questions.
It's Bruce Babbitt, said White House sources. No, wait, it's Stephen Breyer. Well, no, it's probably Ruth Ginsburg. The never-ending nomination process could leave the impression that the president is a man who can't stick with a choice.
And who has no real commitment to decisions he's made and promises he's made. It adds to the sense of a man with no backbone.
Mr. Clinton's frustration with the increasing criticism of his style finally boiled over in the Rose Garden, with the first question from a reporter about the zigzag quality of his decision-making.
I wonder, sir, if you could kind of walk us through it, perhaps disabuse us of any notion we might have along those lines. Thank you.
I have long since given up the thought that I could disabuse some of you of turning any substantive decision into anything but political process. How you could ask a question like that after the statement she just made is beyond me.
Today's pointed presidential response contrasted sharply to the whipped, weary image Mr. Clinton projected 10 days ago as he dropped his nomination of Lani Guinier. But his communications director says Mr. Clinton wasn't trying to make a point.
It was such a moving time, but then to get back into the political back and forth or the calculations involved was diminishing of a very special time.
All this comes just 1 week into a big White House charm offensive directed at the press. But it's likely to be a short courtship. Mr. Clinton will probably get more credit for standing up to the press today than he will for trying to seduce it. And anyway, he still has plenty of tough decisions left to make. Bill Plant, CBS News, the White House.
Straight ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, U.S. forces and civilian casualties as the attacks continue in the capital of Somalia.
And consumers beware, a warning to check your soda pop can before you drink.
If you're looking for distinction and value in a luxury automobile, the answer is the special edition Cadillac DeVille. Equipped with luxurious options such as Phaeton roof, gold ornamentation, and leather seating areas. At a savings of $1,490 plus a $2,000 bonus direct from Cadillac for a total of $3,490. The special edition Cadillac DeVille, changing the way you think about American automobiles.
How many times I told my dad to see a doctor. He was stubborn. But the pain in his stomach just wouldn't go away. He had to go. You should have seen the relief on his face when the doctor said Mylanta. He said it was indigestion, and his kind of indigestion needed strong medicine.
Mylanta is strong medicine, strongly recommended. In fact, Mylanta is the antacid doctors recommend most.
My doctor said Mylanta.
Also available in tablets and now gel caps.
U.S. aircraft struck again today against a Somali warlord, and the Pentagon says the crackdown will continue despite civilian casualties. It's aimed at restoring the authority of the United Nations force in Somalia, but so far it's been wide of the mark. Correspondent Bob Simon covered today's airstrikes in Mogadishu.
The helicopter gunships hovered over Mogadishu this morning and then opened fire. The first daytime airstrike since this undeclared war began 3 days ago. One rocket destroyed a multiple grenade launcher. Another appeared to have gone astray. It exploded in a street-side tea stand. People said a woman and a child were killed. This followed another night of American fireworks. American AC-130 gunships were having another shot at the streets controlled by General Edid. Morning revealed a strange discrepancy between what had been a dramatic sound and light show and the actual target. It looked like a used car lot which had seen better days. There were a few military vehicles there, but they appeared to have been wrecked a long time ago. The logic for the strike may have had more to do with the fact that General Edid lives just across the street, and everything the Americans have done since Friday seems designed at the very least to frighten him and bring him into line.
Are you afraid of the Americans? We don't afraid Americans. Till the last person, we will fight.
The UN forces started putting flares up about 10 minutes ago. You might be able to see some of them behind me. There's also been an uncommon amount of helicopter activity over Mogadishu tonight. These are both signs that there may very well be more airstrikes tonight, and everyone is sort of expecting them. If the objective of the airstrikes is to destroy General Edid's weaponry, his arms factories, that certainly hasn't been accomplished yet. If the objective is to bring Edid to heel, that hasn't been accomplished yet either. So there's every reason to believe that we're going to have a busy night and more busy nights for the rest of this week. Connie?
Bob, how do the Somalis view the Americans? Have their attitudes changed over the past few months?
Connie, it's been 6 months since those first Marines brought smiles to Somali children. It's been a long 6-month voyage from cries of God bless America to Yankee go home. Connie?
Thank you, Bob.
In Bosnia, Serbian forces are relentlessly closing in on the Muslim areas declared safe havens by the UN. Reports from eastern Bosnia say nearly 70 people were killed by shelling attacks in one town alone. In Sarajevo, Serbian forces are threatening to choke off the UN airlift that's kept the city alive for a year. They are blockading the road between the airport and the city and refusing to let UN aid trucks come through.
Stay with us for much more CBS News, including Eye on America. Tonight, a small town, gay rights, and the debate over right and wrong.
Anna wants me to try something I've never tasted before.
It's the Kellogg's Muesli.
Don't you just love the way she talks?
The taste of the Kellogg's Muesli cereal is very surprising.
Hey, this is very surprising.
It's got plump raisins.
They are plump.
The flakes very crispy in the Kellogg's Muesli.
It's crispy.
The crunchy almonds, the brown sugar, and the yummy dates.
It's yummy.
Surprise yourself with the fabulous taste of Kellogg's Mueslix.
No. Kellogg's Mueslix.
Pain like this could mean you have sensitive teeth. Here's a remarkable solution. Brush with Aquafresh Sensitive. It targets the cause of the pain, microscopic holes that let hot and cold shoot straight to the nerve. Aquafresh Sensitive soothes the nerve and helps stop the pain. And with fluoride and that great Aquafresh taste, it can replace your everyday toothpaste, so you may never have sensitive teeth pain again. Aquafresh Sensitive soothes the nerve, helps stop the pain.
I got an 88 Chevrolet Silverado with 304,000 miles. I drive it to work, 125 miles one way to work, 304,000 miles, still rolling.
I got approximately 353,000 miles on this truck. It runs 10 or 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. It's always brought us in, regardless of where we was or what we was doing.
Chevrolet, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Keep tires on it, keep gas in it, it'll go.
Are you happy with the way you look, or would you like to make some changes? Don't change a thing until you watch a 48 Hours double feature Wednesday.
A new and bizarre product tampering scare may be spreading tonight. It started last week in the Pacific Northwest. Hypodermic needles in cans of Diet Pepsi. Today there were 2 more reports in other parts of the country, as correspondent Sandra Hughes reports.
One of the syringe scares happened in New Orleans, where a man drinking a Pepsi says he cut his lip on a needle after buying the can of soda at a convenience store.
I opened it in front of the lady, and I took a swallow, and I said, Miss Rose, something stuck me.
The second case came today in Los Angeles, when a woman claimed she was pricked in the gum by a needle after drinking a can of soda from this store. Police are investigating, but say it appears to be a hoax. The latest cases come on the heels of a federal investigation into 2 confirmed cases of product tampering involving Diet Pepsi cans in the Seattle area. Syringes and needles found in both cans looked similar, except the needle found by Joe Triplett was bent, which suggests it could have been used by a diabetic prior to being placed in the can.
There's various things that could infect you, AIDS and so on and so forth.
But preliminary testing by the Federal Drug Administration found the 2 Seattle syringes were not contaminated. Federal investigators haven't ruled anything out, but believe the product tampering probably took place inside the bottling company in Seattle, where both cans were filled with soda, though 5 months apart.
That is right now our theory, that somebody intentionally has done something here. We just don't know what or when.
So the FDA is warning consumers to protect themselves by gently shaking the can or pouring the soda into a glass for a visual inspection. Pepsi has no plans for a recall, and at this point the FDA will not ask for one, saying only it is investigating the most recent allegations, but doesn't believe there is a link with the Seattle cases. Sandra Hughes, CBS News, Los Angeles.
2 of Pennsylvania's top political leaders went under the knife today. Ailing Governor Robert Casey is undergoing lengthy heart and liver transplant surgery. Casey's new heart is said to be working well. Also today, Republican Senator Arlen Specter had surgery. Doctors removed what they say was a benign brain tumor.
Now from around the world, more CBS News. In Ottawa, the new Conservative Party leader is about to be Canada's first woman prime minister. Elected by the party last night, Kim Campbell takes over in a few days from the retiring Brian Mulroney.
In Miami, 27 Haitian refugees with AIDS arrived from the U.S. base at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. They are the first of about 140 AIDS-infected Haitian immigrants allowed in by a federal judge.
In Mississippi, the dragnet is out for a self-professed serial killer who escaped from a Gulfport jail last night. The FBI says Donald Leroy Evans is, quote, extremely dangerous. Evans says he's killed more than 70 people, but FBI investigations don't back that up.
And after heavy rains in Atlanta, a giant sinkhole opened up under a parking garage. At least one woman was killed when her car fell into the hole. Police say other cars may have plunged into the crater.
Still to come on tonight's CBS Evening News. Kids, dinosaurs, and height. Will the images of the screen be too real for millions of children?
You make me feel so young. You make me feel there are songs to be sung.
Introducing Fat-Free Promise Ultra. 0 fat with just 5 delicious calories a serving.
And every time I see you grin,
It's the first fat-free margarine. Definitely one of a kind.
you make me feel so young.
Regular or new Fat-Free Promise Ultra. Get heart smart.
This is my Dirt Devil Upright Plus and my Upright Plus XF. Both have plenty of power and loads of accessories. So why 2 models? One's a hardtop and one is a convertible. Drive home a Dirt Devil Upright.
Now, Hart's long-term flea and tick protection is not just for white-collar dogs and cats.
Hart's Yummies?
The famous Hart's 2-in-1 flea and tick-killing collars now come in fabulous colors. So every dog and cat can feel comfortable with the powerful benefits of Hart's 2-in-1 protection. Protection that works for up to 5 months, wet or dry. Pets are jumping for joy wearing their 2-in-1 colored collars. Just ask any flea or tick. These are drop-dead colors.
The doctor said to use hydrocortisone cream for my itch.
Try Preparation H hydrocortisone cream to effectively relieve problem itch.
It worked great, and I didn't need a prescription.
Preparation H hydrocortisone cream. Prescription strength without a prescription.
Thinking about getting a checkup from your doctor? If you're a woman, there are some special exam guidelines you should follow. What you need to know tomorrow on CBS This Morning with Harry Smith and Paula Zahn.
Another day, another vitamin that could be good for you in a special way. Researchers report tonight that people with a progressively blinding eye disease may be able to keep their sight longer with large doses of vitamin A. The study found vitamin A slowed the effects of retinitis pigmentosa, or RP, and could help patients hold off blindness for several years.
At the movies, it was the opening to best all openings. Jurassic Park pulled in more than $50 million at the box office. Still, some customers, just like the characters in the movie, are finding their prehistoric adventure a less than pleasant surprise. Bill Lagatudo reports.
When it comes to movie merchandising, Jurassic Park is a natural.
The Velociraptor.
After all, kids love dinosaurs. But should they be allowed to see the movie that's inspiring all this?
It's so intense that parents should really know that this is going to scare their kids.
Steven Spielberg himself has said he wouldn't take his children to see the film. They're all under 8. Yet many of the toys and t-shirts, the special dinosaur meals at McDonald's, all of which will earn the studio countless millions, are clearly aimed at children under 13.
Look at this. This is not the nice thing to teach the 6-year-old child.
It becomes too seductive to children younger than 13 to want to go to see the movie once they play with the toy.
In this movie, several adults are eaten alive. 2 children are pursued relentlessly by some very scary creatures. Enough to give your kids nightmares? The experts say that depends.
I think you need to prepare your child for the violence that is shown in the movie. I don't think you would take a child who didn't know fantasy from reality.
At theaters today, the movie's violence got mixed reviews.
Some of the parts were a little bit scary, some of them weren't.
A little bit of fright is always good every once in a while, you know.
Tonight, some merchandisers like McDonald's refuse to discuss the controversy. They may be too busy taking profits as Jurassic Park continues to gobble up the competition. Bill Agatuda, CBS News, Hollywood.
Everybody needs some money sometime. Everybody needs some cash somehow.
Hello?
Rita.
It's midnight.
I need $500. Now.
I'll call Western Union.
Just call 1-800-CALL-CASH, and you can send money from home.
Sometimes is now.
Western Union.
Oh, yeah.
The fastest way to send money.
I found if you feed a lot of meat, and a good kind of meat like pedigree, you really get a nice shine to the coat.
John Woodring, top breeder of champion beagles.
A dog that's really fit, that's had really good nutrition, is definitely happier and makes a better pet. I only want my dogs to have the best food, and the best food we've found is pedigree and pedigree mealtime. I really like the pedigree meat mixed with the mealtime dry. I'd recommend pedigree to anybody who owns a dog, either a pet or a show dog.
Pedigree, developed with vets, recommended by top breeders.
Beneath the surface of your skin, surrounding the cells, that's where the athlete's foot fungus grows. So that's where you have to get to cure your athlete's foot. Mycotin is what you need. Mycotin is specially formulated to penetrate the skin surface with miconazole and kill the annoying fungus right where it starts. So if you want to get rid of your athlete's foot, remember, you've got to penetrate to cure. Mycotin penetrates, Mycotin cures.
Yeah, I looked at the BMW and the Lexus.
And?
I drove this. The power, the handling, the control. It was incredible. Really? It's got leather, ABS, dual airbags. It's even supercharged. I could have spent a lot more on the BMW or the Lexus. But why? What is this? The new Bonneville SSEI. Very nice.
When you think of the gay rights movement, you think of cities such as New York and San Francisco. But Cornelius, Oregon, so far as can be determined, few if any gays live there. But the town just got into the battle over gay rights by launching a preemptive strike. Bill Whitaker has the story in tonight's Eye on America.
Cornelius, Oregon, 100 years old this year, proud of its traditions, its values. But now this self-proclaimed family town is being torn apart over the issue of homosexuality.
I think that the homosexual agenda is very devious, misleading.
The issue here in Cornelius really was not about homosexuals. It was about civil liberties.
The citizens of Cornelius voted in a tough anti-gay rights law. But Brenda Saunders says it's not about gay rights, it's about right and wrong.
This lifestyle and the promotion of it is detrimental, I feel, to our children and our families and just America as a whole.
Down at his auto body shop, Mayor Neil Knight likes his cars more than politics. But he says he had to stand and fight what he calls the homosexual agenda.
The promotion of the homosexual agenda here in Cornelius?
Yeah, if I hire a homosexual painter, if he's kissing his boyfriend goodbye in the parking lot, I can say, hey, look, that's not acceptable here. I don't want you doing it. And if you continue, I'm going to fire you. I have that opportunity right now.
It's a town with no known homosexuals, but it's a town that's frightened by a raucous national debate.
People right now! If gays coming in, I want to get out.
Once they disclose it, I'm not going to be comfortable around them.
From gays in the military to gays in the Clinton administration.
Now this militantly activist lesbian is the showpiece of the homosexual movement in the United States.
In Cornelius, the national debate has unleashed local raw fear and prejudice.
Once you say it's all right to deny civil rights protection to one class of people, who is going to be next?
This has been a sexual cleansing of Cornelius, and maybe we'll have the ethnic cleansing coming up. That's what scares us.
And we pray that you bless this meeting.
Down the road in Canby, the Oregon Citizens Alliance, a fundamentalist Christian group, is on a crusade to pass anti-gay rights laws in 30 more towns and villages.
It's unnatural sex. Sodomy is unnatural.
Using prayer.
And may it bring about righteousness in our community for Jesus' sake.
And slick videos.
Their battle cry, we're here, we're queer. Get used to us.
We believe that we do need to take a stand, and we believe this is sending a message to our state and to the nation that we're saying enough's enough.
The heated debate over homosexuality divided people here in Bremerton, Washington, too. But this time, it didn't start in town hall, but in the school halls, here among the students at Bremerton High School. Here, students rejected a proposal that would have kept openly gay students out of school government.
Oh, those are good.
For graduating senior Kalisa Berkey, it was a vote for tolerance.
To be in student government here, it does not matter whether you're gay or you're not gay. There's a job to be done, and we need anybody who could add positive things to it.
Still, 43% of the students voted to restrict gay rights. Even Andrew Ledbetter, next year's student council president.
Do we want Nazis in student government? Do we want racists? Do we want socialists? Do we want communists? It's great to have different perspectives, but I think we have to draw the line somewhere.
Principal Mara Lee Hansen says the debate was healthy.
I think it's great that they are willing to take on these issues as young adults. And in some cases, they're doing it better than the adult population is.
Gay rights and family values, minority demands and majority rule. Tough questions, difficult answers for Bremerton, Cornelius, and the rest of America. In Cornelius, Oregon, this is Bill Whitaker for Eye on America.
And that's our news. Coming up tomorrow on CBS This Morning, what every woman needs to know about medical tests. Which tests are needed and which ones are a waste of money.
Connie and I will see you again tomorrow. Thanks for joining us. Good night, Connie.
Good night, Dan.
Good night, everybody.
CBS News. The people of CBS News. Dan Rather.
Connie Chung.
Ed Bradley.
Mike Wallace.
Leslie Stahl.
Morley Safer.
Steve Croft.
Andy Rooney.
And Charles Carroll.
Experience.
CBS News.
This is CBS.
You want the safety and security of a Jeep Grand Cherokee, but you need a family sports sedan, so why not look into the Eagle Vision at the same Jeep and Eagle dealer. Vision offers your family the security of standard drivers and passenger side airbags, available anti-lock brakes, and standard V6 engine. And while that makes for a number of valuable reasons to buy Eagle Vision, we'd like to offer one more. So hurry, test drive an Eagle Vision at your Jeep and Eagle dealer now.
This is the News Channel 5, 6 o'clock report.